Here we go. So you can see that the air from the tyre still pushing the fluid through. It's literally emptied my bottle. And hopefully I won't get no leaks. Oh no, I've got a massive leak right there. What? Yeah, definitely my fault, that one. That fitting wasn't even tight. Right then, just sent some more pressure through. So I've got a reservoir full. That seems to be holding now. Just check the other three corners. There it goes. That's enough for that side. I'll go around twice probably, maybe 3 times depending on what happens. I'll probably benefit from a tube that I can actually see through. Got the new stainless hardware in. Now I'm just going to adjust the back brakes so when I pull it out of the garage I don't have to chock it no more. I've just reset the handbrake because I pulled that up too much. I've always got to refer to the manual for the adjustment on these because I can never remember what direction I've got to put it in. Hopefully that's it. I've been back and forth a few times now and I've got 4 clicks on the handbrake. Ideally I should have ordered some new cables, but that's another day. I have to clean this old starter motor up, won't I? Can't put it in looking like that. I made this tool quite a while ago now, and that's so I can do the switches up on the dash there. But I must not have ever used it because it won't go over the threaded part of the switch. The centre's not bored out, so I'm going to have to do that. I've got a feeling I'll probably use a pair of needle nose pliers or something. That's a combination of old junk stuff. Got a bolt in there with some JB weld. I've got a, I believe that's a wall bolt and an old chuck key, I think. See if that's deep enough, eh? Nah, it's far from it. Oh no. Oh, perfect. Although I'm going to have to turn that switch some because I want that line horizontal. There we go, that'll do. Ploughing through this wiring still, and as I said before, I'm just getting it all hooked up and then I'll sort it out after. Just out of interest, and put a comment below, how do you orientate your headlight switch there? Because if you want to put a radio in, it's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Believe it or not, I haven't been able to find any close-up photos of that switch. Air vents in. It's well chewed up, but it'll do. And another job on the list in between everything else, I want to try and get some colour restored into these interior panels. Obviously over the years it's gone to that horrible hazy white colour, and I'm going to try and use this this vinyl dye basically. Hopefully that'll get back to black. well that I'd already refurbed. I actually got a new bit of backing board for this, and look at the overspray colour. That's the blue from the Beetle. Wow. Right, let that go off then. It says leave it for 24 hours and apply another coat if you need to. Managed to get some door clips and the rubber bungs, and also some new pop-out screws as well. But I'm still cleaning up all the wires, and I've just got the wiper motor cleaned down as well. Well, I think I've got everything to get that pop-out done. Got all the seals delivered. I'm not overly excited about the quality of that felt channel though. That rivet's just about hanging in there, and I'm sure there's meant to be a washer in between there. Let's have a look at this other one. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's got a washer between it. Anyway, let's get this one apart first and see what we're dealing with. And going back to that one, that's a little mangled. And that bottom bolt's a bit rusty, ain't it? Pretty sure that's going to pull straight out of there. Yep. There we go, that's the glass. Yeah, seal's coming straight out. Yeah, that's pretty much had it. Well deteriorated. Just need to dig this one out a little bit. That's that. And the felt. Yeah, it's in bits that look. It's breaking up. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Right, so I need to get that old rivet out. And I'm thinking of just giving this a little bit of satin black on this frame. Tidy it up. Right, I've just straightened that little hinge bracket out. And quick tape job, a little bit of satin black. That's a bit better, let that dry. Got a coat on that wiper motor as well. Now these old felt channels have got like an aluminium inside of them. A lot tougher. These new ones are literally just a plastic flocked bit of rubber. Definitely going to need gluing in. Onto the other side, and this one's going to have to get drilled out. Got the offside quarter light apart, and that little washer that I'm missing is almost like a little woven cardboard. And it looks like the little hinged bracket has got one of its rivets sheared off, so it's a little bit loose. I might have to replace that. See what we're dealing with, eh? Very deteriorated. Yeah, see how loose that is? Get that done. That's it, got the old one out of a Dremel. Rivet in. Rivet in, get it? Now I'm going to see what else I've got available. Just had a quick little look. I don't think I'm that tight of a person, but they want £2 per washer for that. I've gone and dug this piece of original wiring out, and I've identified that as being both the interior light and the door switch wire, but obviously I've replaced that now with a new red wire, which is curled up there, and I replaced the brown with a blue with red tracer. I thought that was the original colour, but obviously not. But there's no reason for me to change that out now. It's pretty much done. One thing that I will have to do, I think I'll do that now actually, is I've just dropped the wire down that goes underneath the fuel tank, so this travels over and feeds the horn basically. It was a little tight getting it back through its original route, but got it done. Now I'm going to have to put that earth onto this steering column tube, and it's obviously broken off in the past, so I'll just clear a little bit of paint off there and probably just rivet a male connector on basically. So there we go, just cleaned a little bit of paint off and marked where I need to drill a hole. I can't see why that won't work. Just modified a little spade connector there and rivet it through that column. Just changed out that horrible crusty conduit that was on that wiring as well. Look loads better, don't they? Gonna get these inner strips in first. Should just push in these ones, hopefully. I'll do a little bit of trimming. Same again on the second one, just to ease it in. Now the thicker seal. Might need some silicone on this one. So there we go. Get it over that little hinge first. Get it in place. It was a little bit difficult to get the actual seal seated in its lip there. Not too sure about that top piece. It's not going in any further though. So I'll see how it goes when I put the glass in. And I've just greased up the actual spindle for the glass, ready to go in. Now I'm going to replace that sort of woven washer for a metal one. See how I go. Gonna have to look into this a bit more because I know I've got a new seal on there. It's quite tight, but that may let some water in at the top there. Maybe it's been jemmied before. I'm actually gonna grind that rivet back out and see if I can get the window sitting flush without the rivet in. Then I know where I stand, whether I need to actually bend that hinge a little bit or not. I think the best thing to do is to take the seal out and start again. I have just bent that little hinge back down ever so slightly, and to me the glass on the frame is lining up pretty good on there now, so I'm going to re-rivet that hinge and see if we can get this fitting with that seal. Well, it is fitting a lot better than before. Still having to put a little bit of pressure on that top corner to get it seated correctly within that seal, but I think it is because it is a brand new seal in there. So I am yet to get that rivet popped in, so that might alter the frame and the glass slightly. We'll see in a minute. But the only thing that I did do differently was to make sure that I got that wider part of the seal in first on the inside. So pushing the seal up and getting it seated within its lip inside there before starting the shorter side on the outside of the window. Oh, and one other thing, I did actually have to do a little bit of trimming on this sill in the top corner. Basically just had to make a little bit of a longer split on the inside because there was too much material being gathered up in the corner there. It might make a difference actually popping this rivet with the window in its closed position. Let's see. I can't remember what I did before, to be honest, but it might, oh yeah, it might hold it on in there better. There's no glass protruding. Oosh. See, I'm still having to push the corner in slightly, but yeah, it's that top corner. Can push the corner in just past the sill. It might wear down over time, so I'll call that a win. For some reason, I just can't get the passenger side quarter light straight within that frame. Just ain't having it. This catch is a little bit pulled away from the glass also. It's old. Right, I just can't have it. The glass has got to line up within the frame, nice and straight. Now I've determined that that hinge bracket has got to go right over that way. Now, in the old trusty vice it goes. Bit more bending. I've got it straighter in the frame, I think. But it is slightly protruding out. So, like a fine wine, I'll let it mature. Hopefully it'll bed in over time. Going to use this 3M stuff to stick the felt channels in. Tiny tube for the price. Just going to apply a very thin coat to each surface. Let it go tacky. And in it goes. It's feeling more and more complete with everything that I put on the car. So I've got the door latches on each side and the collars and the door pulls. Next up are the opener bars. So far, so good. The old felt channel runners in. How typical is that? I've only recently just done an order and now I've found something else that I need. Actually need 3 of those. I'll show you where they go later, but they're definitely not here. You know what? I've only just remembered that I've got 1 door check strap. I'm going to have a quick double check. If not, I'll just move on to something else. No luck on that one. I haven't even got the retaining pins or the clips. Get the old horn wire connected. Meep, meep. Got some strips of foam cut. I'm going to replace all of this stuff here, and these door panels have come out particularly good. Things were looking good until the cardboard decided to rip at every given opportunity, trying to push it into the panel. So I can't do nothing else with that. I've got myself a new bit of board. I'm going to have to make it again. And like the previous panel, this is a, it says it right there. There it is, all separated. Got a little bit of a split there on that fake seam, and just across there, but you won't see that. I should get away with it, but the board's actually split on a couple of clip places, 3 of them, and there is also a crack in the board there, so it's probably the best thing to replace it. Well, I've got it all marked out, but I've just got to wait for some adhesive to turn up. Now, if I could only find my jigsaw, I'd get that cut out. Oh, I've got deliveries coming in thick and fast here. The missing check strap, the seal for the one that I've got, check strap pins, load of washers for the door hardware, check strap circlips, spindle grommets, and the check strap to body seals. Engine bay seals for the bug. Sweet. Going to give that a little bit of paint just to match the other one. Bonnet catcher's had a little dusting. I have just finished putting the seal onto the second pop out. That was a killer. I'd say that's worse than welding in chassis rails. Just hoping that I don't have to do a job like that again. It's just taking so long for each part that needs to go back on, because I'm having to find it first of all, and then clean it down. Just had a little help to get the pop outs in. Now I've just got to find the holes for the actual catch on the inside. Messed it up a little bit trying to find the actual holes, but I'm happy it's in. Got a hinge cover on also. This side's got less holes in it. A little bit of creasing on the headliner though. Might be able to get that out with the heat gun. Right, found it. As before, use the 3M90. Again, let that dry. So I've got that rear door card in. Now I'm actually going to revisit it with the die, just because I've marked it a little bit in trying to secure those pins into the panel there. Now I think I've got some discrepancies with this rear seat, mounting the rear seat. I've got some random holes in there, and these brackets actually take quite a large size screw that I haven't got. I remember taking some manky old fixings out of there that I've recently discarded. Now I do believe that that is 68 and onwards, but I've also got the fixings for the 67 or pre-67 rear seat retraining strap hooks. Now it doesn't really bother me. I mean, this is a F-Reg 67, it's a later 67, so I reckon this is correct. Either way, I've had to order some screws in, because they are quite hefty then. You can correct me if I'm wrong, just put a comment below. So that would be the seat retaining hook that goes where those 2 marks are. And this would be a strap that goes over said hook. I'm certainly not a lover of putting seals in. I'm actually going against my own advice here and using a screwdriver. Now this one goes all the way around that rear valance and onto them side trays, and I've got to make a little split on either side because the rear valance is removable. That's that one in, and I've just got to make the incisions on either side. Sound like a surgeon. Incisions. Made the cut there on that sill, just with a hacksaw blade, nice and thin. And I've just cleaned down the original grab handle. I have got an ivory version, but for some reason I think I'm going to put this one on. It appears to be well thumbed. Found the ivory one. I'll keep that for a rainy day. I may even change those chrome ends out, just for a little bit of bling. I've got a little chip on the side of the door there, look, where it's opened up and hit the bus. Handles on. Basically, I'd like to get the rest of these doors made up, and I'm not too sure if I've got all the parts for it. Right, it's going back on the ground because I need to move it so I can look for stuff. So these 67 only window winder handles were in quite a bad way, so I've rubbed them down. Give them a little coat of etch primer for now. I'm undecided what I'm going to do with a top coat yet. Might go down the chrome paint look. Right, moved her out of the way just so that I could check up in the rafters there to see what bits that I actually need, and I need to order a lot more than I initially thought. I need new chrome trim and all the scrapers. I need the window channel felt for both sides. Quite a lot, really. I haven't forgot about the bus, by the way. I'm hoping to get back on that soon. Well, I found all the hoses that I need. This is for the, it might be for the bus also. Got the tubing for underneath the bonnet. And those plastic Y pieces that I had to do a little bit of work on previously. Well, I think I'm going to have to leave it there for now. It's getting a little bit too cold in here. So, until next time, make it better than it was. See you on the next one.